Well, everything seems that functioning correctly, and I don't see any problems. And with the clutch right there, that looks good. That's pretty much functioning well. And also, let's take a look up here. Something here. It looks like we might have a little overhead gasket, maybe weakening up on me a little bit there, but I have to keep my eyes on that. Well, that's right. Well, once again, the solenoid has got a big role with the clutch, and the solenoid goes bad, and the clutch will get stuck and won't turn. Once upon a time, many years ago, I thought the clutch went bad, but it didn't go bad. It was the solenoid. And then many years later, which you've seen my last video, the solenoid wasn't bad, but yes, it was 4-year-old, but the solenoid wasn't bad, but the clutch went bad on me, pretty much, right? Okay, so solenoid, does the solenoid play a role in this whole operation when the fan spins or not? Yes, it does. And a lot of times people push air right into that, compressed air, and if it releases, then your solenoid is bad. Remember, the air goes right through that nozzle, right? Into the hub, into the clutch. So that's what it does. And I remember the mechanic pushed air right through here, released the clutch, fan was stopped spinning, then the clutch was good. This is the only way you get to test that. Then I end up changing. I told them to change the solenoid. They changed the solenoid, the fan stopped turning. This was many years ago. So many years later, for a long time usage, clutch finally gave up on us and quit. And we went ahead and we changed it. And the clutch was the problem, because the clutch, all the particles inside was damaged and it failed on us. Anyway, so I'm going to get up there and put a little screw up there, because that paneling there was coming off from the vibration, and I lost the screw and fell right on the hood. Well, for that I didn't do it, and the screw fell. I ended up buying one, but I did taped it before I lose everything else and left some mark. Let me get out there and clean that up. Yeah, well, here my little tiny screw. I had to get that from the dealer. And I was glad that they had this piece, and it was sitting on their shelf. So the man walked and got off the chair and picked this up and came back and gave it right back to me. So, and I got the tools, 2 of them here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up there. Alright, I somehow managed to take one screw from here and then put it there, because I knew after trying maybe 8, 9, 10 attempts trying to get that screw in there, but unfortunately that screw is not the right size. Waste of time, like always, in the hands of the others. You give them the VIN number, you give them all the right information, and they'll screw up at the end. So one day you decide, come up and do it, and spend 10-15 minutes trying to get it in. You think like, oh, I can't find a hole, but then you know what? It's the wrong size. Well, now that's said and done. Down here in Iowa, about 150 miles up north of Omaha, Nebraska. I will go ahead and travel down south a bit, and maybe I can position myself in a better place. Until then, once again, just to finalize, and final conclusion is the solenoid itself, yes, can play a big role on together with the clutch. And of course, as you all know, Borg Warner fan clutch has been installed. And oh yes, by the way guys, you didn't see in the front, while that work was being processed, I had a can of paint just like that, and I kind of gave it a nice paint job on it, and it wasn't much left, but you can see the color. It's really nice. It does look nice, and it's Van Kludge. So before I go ahead and close this hood, I want to check for leaks. Antifreeze is good, antifreeze is full, windshield wiper fluids are full, fuel filter is clean, we got grease, nothing leaking on the bottom of the engine, nothing leaking from the top of the engine. I'm going to go to the other side and take a look. Well, let's see, the belts look good. I don't see anything worn, tearing, or cracked. Alternator, everything is all intact. All the wiring looks good. Yes, I know it needs a little washing. It's time for the wash. Yeah. Well, the place this thing gets parked at, it's too dusty, so it gets pretty dirty once in a while here and there. Anyway, that's not cheap to wash anyway, so yep, everything looks good on this end. And all the tires and all the liquids and fluids and everything, it's to the full, to the max. And one more thing I want to go over with you guys. Let me take a look. I get probably a better view from this end. Okay, one more thing I want to cover. This here, where you got the power steering box, you got the fluids, and all the accessories are connected to the power steering box. You want to make sure that this is tight. A lot of times when you do hit a lot of potholes, you have a lot of impact here. This whole thing moves in the front, especially when you got a lot of weight. Now I'm also inspecting all the connecting rods on that shocks. Looks good. And coming back to the steering compartment, you guys, you know, make sure that this is pretty tight. Sometimes what you can do is tell your buddy of yours to get in the truck while the engine is running and have him turn the wheel left and right, and this way you can get to inspect your whole control arm here in front of you. You can inspect everything that's related to the steering wheel. And that's another thing. Thumbs up for that. 5-star AAA and thumbs up, guys. Well, thank you very much. And I hope this is something just to go over a few things here, might help everyone. But once again, get a professional certified mechanic's advice. Opinions are everywhere. What I like to do is I could use opinions, but I also like to get professional advice at the end before a job is completed. Well, looks everything good here. Now, Daddy's got to go and see how much I can make up from the rest of the day here. All the best. Be safe. And keep on trucking, guys, because America needs you.